All right. Hey guys, welcome back. So, sorry, I'm soggy wet. I was out in the rain with my doggy, and all I'm going to say is on for this bonus message. These are always the ones that I start out with something real that actually happened, usually pertaining to my dog, and then we see if that sets a tone for anything. And my dog, he must just be so tapped in and tuned on to just everything that's going on right now. I've got lots and lots going on behind the scenes, and I'm really happy about all the changes that are going on, but he must be too, because he is like, I would say he sings all the time, which really means loud barks for prolonged amounts of time as we're on walks, just at no one. There's nobody around. There's nothing. And he just sings his happy song. It is kind of hilarious right now. And he looks back at me and he's got all this happy energy. So it's just really adorable. All right. So we are starting this out with maybe somebody who's in a great mood, but we've got the strength card, Leo energy for starters. And this can literally be someone who is using their finest power, their personal like strength to really make their life be what they want it to be. We've got a Knight of Swords that's in the reverse. This person doesn't feel rushed or pushed. They're doing something very brave. Oh, Chariot. And they are absolutely moving forward on their own terms. We may have somebody who is literally traveling or is about to travel. Now it may have they may have a specific date in mind, and they're not going to make it happen any faster than what is planned. This is someone who's very balanced, someone who's very strong, someone who is not in a rush. They already put things in motion. They've got a plan that they can count on. They feel empowered. They feel like they're in control of this, and they see the writing on the wall, which is I'm doing it. I'm going there. It's very exciting. Cancerian energy. Only an Emperor and Empress rides in a chariot. So I don't know. Somebody wants to do this for love. We got a Two of Swords, and then we got that Knight of Wands coming in more of a sideways angle. It was slightly up tilted, but primarily what I would call more of a horizontal position. So that's where the one question mark is. I think if someone is they're confident that they want to do this, they're not 100% sure about will it be all that fulfilling once they arrive. That part, that's like saying, will this thing that I'm going to do in my future turn out to be every wish come true? Well, who could say that, right? Ace of Swords, mostly the truth will reveal itself. Okay, so tell me about this. What is this? Let's change decks. Let's change decks. Let's go. Oh, well, I knocked the first card off of this deck, so I guess that's one that I've unwittingly chosen, haven't I? All right, tell me about this. My hair is a disaster. Scorpio energy here. Death card in the reverse. This is about a situation that I'm going to say it's just not over. Oh, Seven of Wands. No, it's not over. This is something that I feel like somebody's been in purgatory for a period of time, but you notice as much as they did not show, and I always look at this card as someone who is hiding, not like lying, but someone who hides like the extent of what their situation has been. Because if you notice, his face is all so perfectly, clean cut, all well put together. You'd never guess that this is the body of that individual, right? Because here we see them totally ripped and, strong enough to bend bars. They're not showing even a strain on their face. They're not showing just how much work and effort they're actually outputting. So I feel like this is someone who kind of holds their own counsel. They may never show it, the fact that they're sweating. They may never tell anybody really what's been going on. But here we have someone who is, their entire life story is tattooed upon them, meaning this person has had quite a life experience. They've had, they've had love, they've had heartbreak, they've had daring adventures, they've had all kinds of things, they've had losses, they've had the full range of human experiences. And I don't think that they have told anyone just what a tremendous amount of determination they have had to one day be able to readdress this situation. something that they did not want to be over. They're finally freeing themselves. Oh, Five of Swords. So in this Five of Swords, you notice that we actually see the story of a divine masculine who is turned into ashes here, and where his heart should be was just stitched up. This is starting to look like we're seeing the story of a divine masculine who has at last gained their freedom. I mean, this could be whatever was holding someone back. I mean, maybe they were incarcerated, whatever the situation was that held them back at some point. That's the thing that they are free of. And getting free to actually I'm going to say fight for something that they never wanted to be over, and to have this kind of burned out ash, imagery there. I'm going to say this is someone who's been I feel like a divine feminine cut them off and they were brokenhearted over it. But we have Lovers and we have a King of Swords. We're seeing a feminine King of Swords. This Lovers card, because we see the birds, and birds are migratory, and obviously in flight. I'm going to say that to me, this is looking very much like we've got maybe a divine masculine who had a situation where if they were prevented from being able to do the things in their life that they wanted to, and the person that they loved cut them off and said, if I'm not aware of what's going on, if you can't communicate that, it doesn't matter if they didn't want it to be over. If they wouldn't either communicate or they wouldn't express what was going on, then this divine feminine seems to have put up a boundary with them. And it looks like, because the boundary here was, I feel like a divine feminine had to step into their divine masculine energy and lay out a boundary and say, I will not accept less than all of you. I will not accept less than all of your attention. I will not accept anything less than all of your commitment to me as well. That's the way I would look at this. So I think that they were not allowed to come toward this divine feminine unless they were there to stay, basically, unless they could stay. So it looks like they're returning. I mean, what happens? Yeah, Two of Pentacles. I gotta say, I feel like maybe this divine feminine was always on the fence about, like, did I make the right choice to cut them off or not? It was always like this juggling, balancing act where I think she had to say, I don't want to be juggled. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, Empress in the reverse, Page of Swords in the reverse. But man, she really made a break with this person, and it destroyed her for a while. She didn't want to be single. She didn't want to let him go, but she wasn't going to be treated as less than an empress, and she wasn't going to hold on and watch and wait and chart their progress or anything like that. I think she really had to walk away from this, and that's what she did. So at this point, okay, so tell me if they're on their way back in. Tell me about this. Queen of Cups. They're doing it for love. They're doing it in the hopes of getting this queen's love again, for sure. Temperance, Prince of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. It's so interesting because they think that they want to try to win her love back. They see her as single and abundant. The only thing is, she didn't see herself that way. She saw herself as she had to make the toughest decision of her life, which was to say, I can't be around this person if they can't treat me like I'm an empress, and she didn't feel good about that. The Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, they see her as single and they need to woo her and win her now. Him or her, this, I don't read for genders, but the universe is actually orchestrating this opportunity now, and so are the gods, because this is Cupid or Eros, who is up here ready to like assist, and the universe stands here and blends. The two of them have obviously those vials to me represent the two of their different lives, that the universe is finally saying, now we can blend these together. It's almost like the universe and the mythological gods are all in favor of this union at this point. And maybe it's because this if it's a divine masculine, this divine masculine they did do what they should have, right? With that 7 of Wands, they fought for something. They handled what they needed to. And even if it's not how we wanted life to go, if we still say, even in the face of, I didn't want this to be this way, but it is this way, and I'm going to have to deal with it, and I've got to take the proper steps to correct some things, to work through some things, and then to have the strength to keep fighting for the thing that I really want. I think that's why we're seeing this person be rewarded, because they basically did the right thing. I mean, to put it simply, they did the right thing. We had the Lovers in the reverse. I think that the universe is saying these lovers have been apart long enough now. These lovers have been apart long enough. So let's let them find each other again. Let's bring this back into union. These lovers have, let me ask, I lost my ability to speak there for a second, didn't I? Let me ask about the Lovers in the reverse. Because I have a flash that I think she thinks it's over. Justice card. It was really unfair the way things went down. There's a bunch of, actually, for these two to be kept apart was actually unfair. The fact that these two weren't permitted to come together before was unfair. Why is that? I mean, that means something wasn't right here. 3 of Pentacles, Princess of Cups, Prince of Swords. I'm wondering, I don't know if this is a page. The princess is a page in this deck. Maybe there was a child, that, not that a child would ever be anything where it's like, oh, that's not fair, I have to take care of my kid. No, of course not. Babies are the most wonderful thing in the world. But if there was something here that kept these lovers apart that was really unfair, and I asked, what is the unfair thing? It almost looks like someone placed a demand on someone out of the blue that said, oh, you have to do this. Not saying, I don't read stories of secret pregnancies and all that kind of drama. I just don't. That's not the kind of story that comes out in my storytellings. Just because that's so deep down the rabbit hole of, that's not how I look at this. But I will say this. It does look like something came almost out of nowhere. This was chaos that came out of nowhere. And this chaos could have been, the agent of the chaos could have been like if they had a, a teen child or something, because the page can be young or like, early teen energy. There could be something where the reason something was unfair is because something required all of their attention all of a sudden, that was kind of a chaotic event that came out of nowhere. This is not to frame, the idea of like a child needing a parental influence as like a negative thing. It talks more though, like this could also have been an adult who suddenly started creating a bunch of chaos, and someone was feeling like, I have to give all of my attention to this situation now. Or they had their own chaos that suddenly just sprung up in their life. Whatever this is Loki. Loki is an agent of chaos for sure. And again, this put this person through a test, 7 of Wands, which is the second time we've seen this card now. So our lead character was tested. But it was unfair that this actually happens. By the way, that Justice card is Libra energy. Hold on. I still don't see what this was. Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. Either someone intentionally lied, and that made a problem for this character that basically held them up and they weren't permitted to move forward and pursue the life that they wanted to live. And that's why it was so unfair. Or they had told some kind of a whopper at some point and it came back to haunt them. And that, they acted like they were going to be able to slink away, escape some part of their life, and then just have this do-over with this divine feminine, and then it backfired and they were reeled right back in, and someone said, oh no, you don't get to leave this. You're staying right here. You're putting in your effort. You're working as long as I say you're working. It looks like that came out of nowhere, but this looks like either they were trying to escape and have a new beginning someplace else, Because that's Seven of Swords. There is maybe they were trying to escape a person who was manipulative, and they got reeled right back in as soon as somebody got the whiff that, oh, you think you're going to go have a good life and escape my clutches? No, you're not. That's kind of the vibe that we got going on here. So it was a sudden turn of events that was very. It created a lot of hectic energy, a lot of chaos, is what we see here. So and that kept these lovers apart. The universe seems to be in favor of these lovers coming back into union. So whatever this was, it wasn't an intentional thing on anyone's part to hurt the other individual. And why is our character so strong now, right? What happened that gave them that? Because we started out with courage. The Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Swords, heck yeah. We've had the Ace of Swords twice now. They've come through the test. They had to handle things with, even if it wasn't fair what happened to them, somehow I'm going to say that their previous actions or something must have contributed to this blockage that they encountered when they wanted to come toward this divine feminine. And they might have overstated what, their sense of freedom and what they thought they could have. They were imagining they could start over with a new life and be really happy with the divine feminine, and really they had unfinished business somewhere. And although maybe that was legit, they really did need to close a chapter appropriately and completely with someone, so then they could really start fresh and not have any old debts or anything still holding over their head. I'm still going to say that whoever it was who reeled them back and said, "Oh no, you don't. You're staying right here." It felt like they were in prison. This divine masculine has felt like they were in prison, or feminine, doesn't matter, could be either. But they have felt like they were in prison, and like they had to deal with things. They had to overcome the problems that they had. And at this point, at long last, they truly have broken away. And keep in mind, when I say somebody feels like they're in prison, that doesn't mean anybody said, "Oh, you're staying here." And then that person goes, "Oh my gosh, I can't escape." That could have just been like a mental aspect, because that Ace of Swords can be how we look at things. But there might have been some, like legitimate karmic debts that they had to satisfy. They had to complete some karmic cycle, because at this point, though, they are cutting themselves free with the help of the universe. Once again, we have the guides here with the ravens, and we have the tree of life, and we have all these runes. Everything says this person finally has had they've completed one cycle in their life, and they can now pursue this romance with this divine feminine. So they are on their way. They are traveling to get to her, from what we can see. All right, I'm going to leave that there, and I wish these two nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. If you do enjoy my art, please give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. It lets me know you like the channel and want me to keep doing it, and then I will. If you're new here, welcome. I am a fictional storyteller, not a psychic, so just bear that in mind. I hope you guys always have a good time. Bye.